Many of you wonder what I do in my free time. Well, shop Amazon. Find some lovely things like this sweet sequenced pillow. But it's not just any. No, it's Jeff Goldblum. Wow, it's amazing. But anyway, that's for a different day. So let's put that aside. And how about we start with a little review of factoring polynomials using the GCF, greatest common factor. So last off, I asked you guys, you should probably work on some of the U-try. I'm going to pick some of those ones that I feel are interesting. And I'm really grateful they have numbers, so I can let you know what numbers they are. Let's start off with an easy one. Let's go with number 4, okay? That's 6x squared plus 3x. One thing I noticed about this is they both share an x, okay? So that makes my life a little easy because I know I'm going to be pulling out an x. I don't know how many, but I do know I'm going to be pulling out an x. And then I have numbers. So I'm looking for a number that goes into 6 and a number that goes into 3. If you haven't guessed it yet, well, that's 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 3 and an x. I'm going to pull that outside. Remember, I'm kind of reverse distributing it. I'm pulling it out, okay? I'm factoring it. So now the way I do it is I have 2 pieces here, so I'm going to have 2 numbers in here. So I do 6 divided by 3, that's 2. Then I do x squared divided by x, and that's x. Easy enough. Plus sign's not going to change. 3 divided by 3 is 1. X divided by x is 1. So there's my answer. Nice and easy. All right, let's go with a little bit harder. Let's go with number 6. Okay. This one has 3 terms. It's y to the, or 4y to the 4th minus 20y cubed plus 48y squared. So with this one, what I'm going to do is I notice they all have a y, so I'm going to be pulling out a y. All right. In this case, I don't know how many. It's not as easy as the last one. So I'll go over that. And then I have numbers in each of them. So I'm looking for the number that goes into 4, 20, and 48. So I think it's easy to see that 4 goes into 20, 4 goes into 4, and 4 goes into 48. So I'm going to pull out a 4. Now the y's, okay? Well, this one has 4, 3, and 2. So that means they all share 2, okay? A little trick is you take out the smallest exponent, okay? So in this case, this is y, and y. All right, 4, 3, and 2. So I'm going to pull out a y squared. Now, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Y to the 4th divided by y squared. Well, that's y squared. Negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. Y cubed divided by y squared is y. 48 divided by 4 is 12. And y squared divided by y squared is 1. So it's just 4y squared times the quantity of 1y squared minus 5y plus 12. And no, you don't need that 1. All right. So let's look, okay, on the back of that page is some factors. All right, it's classwork / homework. Should be working on that. If you have any questions on that, I'll be more than happy to go over it. But the next thing I want to do is 7.4.2. Okay, and this is actually probably one of the more useful pieces. Okay, just like my Jeff Goldblum pillow, very useful in life. Never know when you're going to need it. Okay, but I'm definitely grateful that I have it because, you know, it's better to have and not need than need and not have, just like this. It's better to know how to do it than not know and need to know how to do it. So using the zero product. Okay, like I said, this is 7, 4, 2. Okay, so you can read the directions. I'm not going to read it to you. Okay, I'll explain it. All right, let's look at the example. Example number 1. All right, and I'm being asked to solve for x such that this is true. So I'm going to solve this. All right, now, I have two pieces here, okay? I have this piece and I have this piece. And I'm going to utilize a little property, okay? I'm going to write that over here because it's definitely useful. It's A times B equals 0. What does this mean? It means I have two pieces of information. I have kind of think of two parts. I have an A and a B, and that equals 0. So what this tells me is that in this case, either this piece has to be 0, the A has to be 0, or B has to be 0. Now, how does that pertain to this? Well, it pertains in this way, okay? This is like my A, so 2x equals 0. And this is like my B. This is x minus 4 equals 0. So I'm setting each piece equal to 0, and I'm going to solve now for x. So over here, since I still have out the blue marker, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. It's a simple equation to solve, and you get x equals 4. Okay? Which makes sense because if I plug 4 into this, I have 4 minus 4, that's 0. So 0 times anything is 0. Now over here, okay, I'm sure you already guessed it. This one's even easier to solve. Divide by 2 and you get x equals 0. So I have these two answers, and this makes sense because 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 times anything is 0. So we're done. Okay? In my notes, you'll see that I said set each part equal to 0. All right? And that's what we're doing. Okay? Now, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says, number 2. A little easy on you guys. Make that harder. All right? We have x times x minus 1 equals 0. So, who do I want to call him? Olivia. What am I doing here? Perfect. You're going to set x equal to 0, and you're going to set x minus 1 equal to 0. Now, Peter, this is solved for, okay? I know you probably thought I forgot that you were there, but I didn't, okay? I know you're in here. All right, I know you're watching my videos. So how do I solve this? Well, now you just, yes, Peter, add 1. So I have my two answers, x equals 0 and x equals 1. All right, perfect, perfect. All right, now let's look at number 3. All right, well, I'm erasing this. Allison, what's your face or your screen time right now? What do you got? How do you have that many hours? It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. You have like 8 hours. Did you sleep? Come on. Were you doing my math problems? You gotta be kidding me. Holy cow. All right, let's get this over with, Allison, so you can get back to your screen time. Okay, number 3 says x minus 3 times the quantity of x minus 9 equals 0. So, perfect, Allison. I'm going to set each piece equal to 0. So I have x minus 3 equals 0 and x minus 9 equals 0. And yes, in this case, x equals 9 because I'm going to add 9 to both sides. And this side, x is going to be 3. Perfect. Nicely done, Allison. I don't know how you do it sometimes, but you get it done. Perfect, perfect. All right. All right, so all right, let's do blue. All right, Hannah, quick question. What does that mean? Yes, perfect. It means I have 2 of them. I'm going to rewrite that like that. Now, Liam, what do I do? Well, nicely done, Liam. Yeah, I'm going to set, even though they're the same, I'm going to set them both equal to 0. So I have b plus 7 equals 0 and b plus 7 equals 0. Now, Sam, where do I go from here? Yep, subtract 7. Nicely done, Sam. Thanks for following along. So subtract 7. I get b equals -7. And b equals -7. Okay. Ooh, computer froze. Gotta love it. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right. A couple more. I got like 2 more or something like that. All right. Shannon. Can you read number 5 to me? Thanks. 2x squared plus 10x equals 0. Nicely done. So, Zara, now I have to kind of use what I was doing in the last section to this problem. All right, they're not always going to be easy like 1 through 4. I know. I wish they were all that easy, but they're not. So, Zara, what do these both have in common? An X. Perfect. How's your brother doing, by the way? You doing well? Enjoying the social distancing? Probably driving you nuts. But that's okay. Let's get through this problem, then we can talk about it more later. So, we both share an X. I'm going to pull that out. Do you share anything else? Shane? Yeah. 2 goes into 2, and 2 goes into a 10, so I'm going to pull that out. So I'm going to do 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay. X squared divided by x is x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And x divided by x is 1. So I have these 2 pieces. And where do I go from here? Sid. Yes, I said 2x equal to 0, and I said 1x plus 5 equal to 0. Now, I don't need that 1, so we're good. Sid, what's x over here? Perfect. X is going to be 0. What about here? Nice. X is going to equal -5. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, let me get rid of that. Okay, so Sammy, can you help me out with number 6? It says 3p equals 15p squared. So, Sammy, what do you think I need to do with this one? Yeah, I gotta get all my p's to one side. Okay, I have to get it set equal to 0. That's why it's the 0 product. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these p's over to the side. And I do that by subtracting 3p. So I have 0 equals 15p squared minus 3p. Now Jackson, what do they share? Jackson? Yes. Perfect. We both share a p, and I can take out a 3. So I have 3p coming out. 15 divided by 3 is 5. P squared divided by p is p. 3 divided by 3, well, that's 1, so it's going to be -1. P divided by p, well, there we go. So now I have these 2 parts. All right. Now, let me erase this. Okay. So I have some room. All right, so I'm just going to rewrite this piece up here. All right, so who do I want to pick on now? Oh, Hannah. Thought I forgot. Oh, how's Bailey doing? Bailey doing well? Yeah? Not playing hockey. Should have stayed with me. Should have stayed here. Poor choice. So Hannah, what do I do? All right, so I have 0 equals 3p here, or 3p equals 0, whichever way you want to write it, and 5p minus 1 equals 0. Doesn't matter which side the 0 is on. All right, so I'm just going to flip this because, 1, I didn't like the way I wrote it. So, all right, so I have this equal to 0 and that equal to 0. Hannah, what's p here? Yep, divide by 3, and I have p equals 0. And then here, you're going to add 1. Now 5p equals 1. Divide by 5. And yeah, I get P equals 1/5. Nicely done. Nicely done. Proud of you. You guys are doing well. All right. So if you turn that page over, you're going to notice a few problems. Okay, a bunch of classwork I would like you to do. Again, I didn't do it in my notes. Okay, so you guys try it. If you have any questions, I'll go over a few in the next video. Okay, but I think you guys can do like questions 1 through 4. We're really 1 through 5 pretty quickly. Questions 6 through 10, they're going to be a little bit trickier. They're going to be more like this stuff here. But again, I don't think it's going to trip you up. And then what I'm going to have you guys do is, I think I'm going to have you guys do an IXL, and then I'll check that later for credit. Okay, so make sure you stay on top of your IXLs, you stay classy, and don't forget, when you have an opportunity to buy a sequence pillow of Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, you take that opportunity. You guys stay classy.